Hey everyone, it is Daki and welcome back to the channel. So, we're going to cover the Shadow Priest and tie up all the priests together. Now, the Shadow Priest is one of those specs and classes that I could really talk about all day long. And there's so much controversy at the moment between what the Shadow Priest should be, what Blizzard are doing with the Shadow Priest, but I don't want to get into that on this video. This video is wholly and solely to tell you about the changes that are or have come about in the pre-patch and what you're going to expect in Battle for Azeroth. So with that said, let's jump across and have a look at the changes done to the Shadow Priest, as well as the new talents that are coming in. And there are quite a few exciting talents that you're going to be playing with leading into Battle for Azeroth. So let's jump across, shall we? Alright, so up on screen right now, you will see the GCD changes coming to the Shadow Priest. There's only a couple of them, and it doesn't affect you a lot, but there are a couple of changes there. Also, up on screen now, you'll find the legendary changes leading from Legion across to Battle for Azeroth. Now, with that said, what are the actual changes? Well, here are the modifiers. Now, these modifiers, once again, are to keep everything in check and make sure that you don't get blown out of proportion compared to other classes and specs. So, let's just get straight into it, shall we? There's a lot to cover. Shadow Word Death is being removed as a baseline ability and placed as a talent, and we'll cover that in the talents down below. You get Leap of Faith back as an ability, so that is part of your toolkit now, which is super awesome. Dispersion gets a slight reword where it now reads Void Form's Insanity Drain is temporarily reduced by 100% while dispersed, castable while stunned, feared, or silenced. So it's just a bit of a reword. It's not a change to the actual ability itself. Flash Heal sees the cost change from 2.8 to 3.0 base mana. Your Mastery Madness now has a slight reword as well, where it now reads increases the damage of your Shadow Word, Pain, Vampiric Touch, as well as your Mind Blast, Mind Flame, Mind Seer, and Void Eruption. So this is pretty cool, guys. This means that you can actually tie in Mastery into your stats. You don't have to leave it to nothing, basically. Now, Mind Blast sees a slight spell power change. It also sees a generational, so your insanity generating change. So instead of generating 15 insanity, it generates 12 insanity now. The cooldown is also changed from 9 seconds to 7.5 seconds, so you can use it slightly more often. Now, Mind Flay just sees a spell power change, Mind Seer sees a spell power change, and let's welcome back Mind Seer as an ability. It always was in Legion, however it was tied into Mind Flay and Mind Flay only, and I now absolutely love how you have Mind Flay and you have Mind Seer as two different spells, and you can choose when to use them, so let's all welcome back Mind Seer. As we move down, we see Power Word Shield. The cooldown has changed from 7.5 seconds to none, so you can absolutely spam Power Word Shield. The cost change has gone from 2.3% base mana to 2.5% base mana. Once again, guys, that 0.2% of base mana is not going to affect you. However, what is cool here is that you can actually use Power Word Shield. If you are in a bind, if a healer dies in a raid, or if a healer dies in a dungeon, and you need to quickly just throw out a little bit of, spot healing or spot survivability, you have that option now. Now, Purify Disease has seen a cost change from 2.6 base mana to 1.3 base mana. That is a cool change. Shadow Mend also sees a little bit of a spell power change across the board. However, it also sees a cost change from 2.8 to 3.0 base mana. Shadow Word Pain really hasn't seen a lot of changes other than the cost. Once again, 2.2 to 1.8. So Shadow Word Pain just becomes cheaper. That's it. Your Shadow Fiend, our lovely little friend, has seen a durational change from 12 seconds to 15 seconds. He also generates 3 Insanity each time the Shadow Fiend attacks. So now your base Shadow Fiend now generates Insanity. He also lasts 3 seconds longer. Your Shadow Form basically just sees a very minor reword, nothing at all. Your Shadow Apparitions, now just sees a spell power change, nothing there. Silence lasts 4 seconds instead of 5 seconds against non-players, and 4 seconds versus 3 seconds preventing you from casting, basically. So not a change there. Vampiric Embrace just sees a cooldown change from 3 minutes to 2 minutes, which is awesome. Vampiric Touch sees very little change other than a reword. It also causes no damage to you over the 21 seconds that it is available, which is damn awesome. Void Bolt just sees a spell power change, nothing there. Void Bolt buff sees a no change there at all. Your Void Eruption, now your Void Eruption just sees a reword here, where it releases an explosive blast of pure and void energy, activating void form, causing a certain amount of damage to all enemies within 10 yards of your target. So this is good. So what this means now is you can use Void Eruption without needing Shadow Word Pain or Vampiric Touch on the target at all. You can just use it and it will deal damage to any target within 10 yards of your target, basically. Requires 100 Insanity to activate, but there is a spell that I believe they've kept around, Legacy of the Void, should still be there. So, Void Form now just sees a slight durational change and a spell power change, but very much keeps it the same. So guys, that is the base changes for your spec. Now we're going to move into what is being added and removed as far as talents go. So let's cover this real quickly. What is being removed from the spec? Well, Dominant Mind is being removed, Masticism has been removed, Power Infusion, Psychic Voice, Reaper of Souls, and Void Ray. All gone, guys. Not coming back. So now let's talk about the actual new talents that are coming to the spec, and we're going to just touch on the last one here, Shadow Word Death. Now, like I said, it's been moved from a baseline ability to a talent, and that is going to get added back in. So let's cover that off straight away. So let's move down the talents here. What do we got? We've got Dark Ascension. Immediately activates a new void form, then releases an explosive blast of pure energy, causing a certain amount of damage to all enemies within 10 yards of your target. Generates 50 Insanity. So this is just basically, you can use it off the bat, basically. You can just use it, use just straight into a void form. Now this also has a 1 minute cooldown. So 1 minute cooldown to enter void form at any point in time, I reckon is a pretty cool talent. Dark Void unleashes an explosive dark energy around the target, dealing a certain amount of damage and applying Shadow Word Pain to all nearby enemies. Now this is cool. It also generates 30 sanity with a 30-second cooldown and a 2-second cast time. So if you had a mass amount of mobs, instead of sitting there and using your GCD going ... you can just use Dark Void, and everything within 10 yards gains your Shadow Word Pain, which is pretty damn cool. So let's go down. We got Last Words, reduces the cooldown of silence by 15 seconds. Nice little passive there. Psychic Horror terrifies the target in place, stunning them for 4 seconds. And Void Torrent. Channel a torrent of void energy into the target, dealing a certain amount of damage over 4 seconds. Insanity does not drain during this channeled, and it requires void form. As we know, that was straight out of the artifact ability. So guys, long story short, what do I think of the Shadow Priest changes? I think overall the Shadow Priest is in a better spot than what it was in Legion, or the end of Legion anyway. Do I think that it has more room to grow? Absolutely. But does it feel better to play? Yes, I've played this in the pre-patch, and I think that this feels quite fine to play so far. But I'm not going to get into all the nitty-gritties, as that would take quite a long time to discuss every little last aspect of the spec. But overall, guys, I'm very happy with where it sits. So guys, thank you so much for coming and watching these videos. I do have a Twitch, I do have a Discord, and obviously I have this YouTube channel. Please follow me on any of those platforms if you wish to keep up to date or see what I'm doing or when I'm live streaming. It would be very much appreciated. And until next time, guys, have a great day.